Yaschintayanto mam ye jana paryupasate from the Bhagavad Gita. It fit very nicely into 554 Estvindra Gopa Mathavendra Ahoswakarma. And today we will look at the last verse, which is in the Vasanta Tilaka meter. So the meter that we've been reading so far is called Vasanta Tilaka. So this Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami, that is Vasanta Tilaka. So the last verse in the Vasanta Tilaka meter is 555. Yam krodha kama sahaja pranayadhibiti.
Yam krodha kama sahaja pranayadhibiti.
Vatsalya moha guru gaurava sevya bhavaihi.
Vatsalya moha guru gaurava sevya bhavaihi.
Sanchintya tasya sadrishim tanumapurete.
Sanchintya tasya sadrishim tanumapurete.
Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami.
Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham
bhajami.
Do you want me to share my screen? I think I will, yeah? Just in case somebody has not. Okay. So, Yam, upon whom, Krodha, wrath, Kama, amorous passion, Sahaja Pranaya, natural friendly love, Adi, and so on, Bhiti, fear, Vatsalya, parental affection, Moha, delusion, Guru Gaurava, reverence, Sevya Bhavaihi, and with the attitude of willing service, Sanchintya, meditating, Tasya, of that, Sadrishim, befitting, Tanum, bodily form, Apuhu, attained, Ete, these persons, Govindam, Govinda, Adi Purusham, the original person, Tam, him, Aham, I, Bhajami, worship. Translation: I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, the meditators of whom, by meditating upon him under the sway of wrath, amorous passion, natural friendly love, fear, parental affection, delusion, reverence, and willing service, attain to bodily forms befitting the nature of their contemplation. I'll stop sharing and then we can discuss the purport here. So here, the very first line of the purport, devotion is of two kinds, namely one of the nature of deference to regulation and two, constituted of natural feeling. Can you give me the technical names for these two, nature of deference to regulation? So devotion is bhakti. So I'll give you that much, okay? So bhakti is of two types. One where you follow the rules and the other which is constituted of natural feelings. So what are the two names for this? Yes, Vidushi?
Vidhi Bhakti and Bhava Bhakti, if I remember.
Samichinam. Yeah, Vidhi Bhakti and Bhava Bhakti or Raganuga Bhakti. So Vidhi or Vidhi means regulation. When it's used in as regulative bhakti, then it becomes Vaidhi Bhakti. So Vaidhi Bhakti and Raganuga Bhakti. Raganuga means following in the footsteps of one who follows Raga Bhakti. Now what is Raga? So such people are called Raga Atmika, Raga Atmikas. Okay. Now what does that actually mean? So the first one is very simple. You follow the various rules. Where are the rules laid down?
Shastras or scriptures?
Very good. Yeah, Shastras and scriptures. And how did they reach us?
Guru.
Guru. Excellent. So the Guru then tells us, okay, you need to follow this, chant 16 rounds every day, you know, all those kind of rules and regulations that come into play. So following all of that and worshipping the deity, like Prabhupada has taught us, with proper mantras and in the mood that the deities are Lakshmi Narayan. That is Vaidhi Bhakti. Then you have the spontaneous Bhakti, which is known as Raganuga Bhakti. Now this Raganuga Bhakti, so when we do Vaidhi Bhakti, we follow the 9, so we go through the 9 steps of devotional process, Adav, Shraddha, yeah, and then you finally come to, so Shraddha, Bhajana Kriya, Sadhu Sangha, Narta Nivritti, Nishta, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava, Prema. But that process is quite long. It's so your bhakti needs to get transformed first into nishtha. Nishtha means, okay, I have strong faith. Then ruchi. Ruchi means I actually now have a taste for it. I feel like doing it. Nishtha, ruchi, asakti. Asakti means I can't even let go of it now. Now I'm attached to it. Then bhava. There is actually a feeling of love for the Lord and for my devotional service. So this process could take a longer time. Then the other way is called Ragatmika Bhakti or Raganuga Bhakti. Now this, when done properly, gives results much faster. So how to do it? What is the inherent nature of this? So here, the first thing that needs to happen is a relationship with the Lord. In Vaidhi Bhakti, you are following the rules and regulations and you keep worshipping the Lord according to the rules and regulations. But in Raganuga Bhakti or Ragatmika Bhakti, what you're doing is you are developing a relationship with the Lord. You start thinking of the Lord in a particular relation. And then you start serving Him under the guidance of a Guru in that same mood. So this verse now talks about the various moods that various devotees and non-devotees have shown towards the Lord. So what is it saying? It says that the Lord first is what? Yam krodha kama. So Govindam Adi Purusham Aham Bhajami. Okay. Kam Bhajami? Yam. Yam. To whom? How do I think of that person? Sanchintya. Okay. One contemplates upon him through various moods, bhavaihi. What kind of bhavaihi? Krodha, anger. How does one contemplate the Lord in anger? Who did that?
Radha.
No, hers is pure love. Yeah, here we're talking about no love, just anger at the Lord.
Kamsa?
Kamsa?
Kamsa, yeah. Who else?
Shishupala, Dantavakra.
Shishupal, excellent. Yeah. So all the enemies, essentially all the enemies. Okay. So yam krodha. Next is kama. Kama is in, basically we're talking about madhurya, feelings. Feelings of love for the Lord, lust, kama for the Lord. Who did that?
Gopis.
Gopis, Kubja,
The queens of
the
Dwarka.
queens, Dwaraka. So for them it's kama. Out of a desire. Now, this kama is very different to what we call kama in the material world. Huh? Kama in the material world is what? Lust, right? But this kama in the material world, this lust is very different to the lust or the kama in the spiritual world. How do we define lust in the material world? Lust versus love? Yes, Vidushi?
In the material world, it's mostly I am the center. So everything, your lust, you want something, therefore you are in the center. But in the spiritual world, Krishna is in the center. So he's always the object that you offer everything to, your emotions, your feel, and any services to. So yeah, that's what I get.
Excellent. Yeah. So in the material world, our lust is we put ourselves in the center. Everything is for me. As long as it makes me happy, the world is a wonderful place and I'm a good person. The moment you go on the wrong side of me, oh, watch out. You see the Rakshas come out. Right? However, in the spiritual world, lust is in order to give pleasure to Krishna. So amongst the gopis also, there is a lot of competition that keeps happening. I'm going to serve him. I'm going to serve him better. But this is not because then at the end of the day, the one who wins gets a trophy. No, it's got nothing to do with that. It's not for recognition or for self-praise or self-worth. It's all about giving pleasure to Lord Shri Krishna. So that is the kind of karma that we are talking about here. And this is called, so we have the different rasas, right? We have the different bhavas. So this is called the madhurya. Okay. Then next, sahaja pranaya adhi. Sahaja, pranaya, these are all spontaneous affection of the cowherd boys. So which rasa is this? Sakhya.
Sakhya.
Yeah, it's Sakhya. Why? Because this is displayed by the Sakhas of Lord Shri Krishna. Sri Rama, Subala, Arjuna. When it comes to Krishna being older, then we have Arjuna, who's his best friend. And in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that. Sakha cheti. You are my Sakha. I'm telling you everything because you are my Sakha. You're my friend. Then the next is Bhiti. Terror. Kamsa. That's right. More than anger, Kamsa comes under terror. Bhiti. Why? Why is there Bhiti? Krishna's going to kill me. I'm so scared. So what is the relationship with Krishna there? Krishna is Kal. He's death personified for such people. For Krodha, he's enemy, Vairi. But here, he is Mrityu. Then Vatsalya. Vatsalya is what? Who does Vatsalya?
Yashoda Mata, Devaki Mata, all of them.
Yes.
And the cowherd, elderly cowherd woman also.
Yes. So you have the elderly. So one is that. So that is in the amongst the gopis. You also have Devaki Mata. So these are the people who look upon Krishna as their child. So it's not just the gopis, it's the gopas as well. So you have Nanda Maharaj, you have Nanda Maharaj's brothers, you have the elder cowherds as well, who look upon Krishna as their son. You have the cows who look upon Krishna as their son. and love him so much. So this is Vatsalya Rasa. Vatsalya. Then Moha. Moha means forgetfulness. In Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Moha is defined by Rupa Goswami as the fear that Krishna is going to forget me. Okay, so, or to put it, or it can also be the other way around, where I am worshipping Krishna because I want Brahman. So my focus is not Krishna, but it is because I want Sayujya Mukti. So both of these come under the definition of Moha. Then Guru Gaurava. Guru Gaurava. So he is very exalted. He's a great personality. You know, he has to be given all respect, all awe. So this comes under what rasa?
Dasya.
Shanta. Awe and reverence. Dasya is, there is a lot of love, but you serve him. You run around to serve him. So Guru Gaurava means there is a lot of awe and respect for him. But so this can be in a few different relationships. For instance, one is Krishna's children, his sons. They would show a lot of respect for the Lord because he's the father. He's the father figure, authority figure. Second, Guru Gaurava would be where it just went out of my head. His sons. So in the Shanta Bhav, you might have seen how sometimes, when great personalities come, there'll be people who just stand around, with a great deal of respect. They won't do anything for him, If he says, I want water, his servant will go running to get the water. But they are just so struck with awe and respect, they won't even move. They're just standing there, eyes aglow with love, but frozen to the spot. That is Shanta Bhav. That is Shanta Bhav. So Guru Gaurava. Savior. Savior is Dasya. So servant. I'm the servant of the Lord. He is my only, he's the only object that I want to serve. I don't want to serve anybody else. That way. So what does Lord Brahma say? Each person therefore has a relationship with Krishna in these different moods. And accordingly, ete apuhu sadrishim tanum. They get, apuhu, attain, an appropriate body for his service. This is Raganuga Bhakti. Meaning what? You decide how you want to serve him, and you then achieve a body according to that. And you start serving him. So, when we talk about this kind of bhakti, remember Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, he also says, Ye yatha mam prapatyate tam tathaeva bhajamyaham. ये यथा मां प्रपद्यन्ते तां तथैव भजाम्यहम् मम वर्त्मानुवर्तन्ते मनुष्या पार्थ सर्वशः 4:11. So as you behave with me, I will reciprocate with you. Then the question arises, what should my mood be? How should I serve the Lord? Now that is something which you as an individual needs to figure out. So only you and your guru will know that. And when we say guru, it has to be somebody who is already in that mood. So only a guru who is in the ragatmika mood will be able to pass on that kind of knowledge. For instance, in the Bhagavatam, we have this verse, na? Mallanam ashanir nirnam naravara strinam smaro murtiman. So when Lord Krishna went to Mathura, when he's standing in the arena to fight Chanura and Mushtika, all the people who are sitting around see Krishna, but each person sees him in a different way. For the Mallanam, for the wrestlers, he comes across as death, as a bolt of lightning, basically. For Strinam, for the women, for the males, Nrinam, Naravaraha, he's the best among men. For the Strinam, women, he is Smaraha, he's Cupid. For all the Gopas, he's Swajana. Apna hi aadmi hai. Our, he's our. Then Asatam, for the impious. Kriti Bhujam, for the impious kings. Who is he? He's Shasta, punisher. Shasta, punisher. And Swapitroho Shishuhu, for his own parents or his own. So when we say parents, uncles, extended, everyone. Shishu is a child, it's a little fellow. For Bhojapati, Bhojapati is Kamsa, the king of the Bhojas. He is Mrityu, he is death. Then Virat Avidusham, for the unintelligent, he actually appears as the Virat Rupa, Vishwarupa. And for the yogis, he appears as the supreme truth, Param Tattva. For the Vrishnis, the members of the Vrishnis, he is Paradevata. He is their worshipable deity. So when he enters the arena with his elder brother, different people see him differently. So each one of us, when we look at Bhagavan, we see him differently. And that is our mood. So when it comes to Raganuga Bhakti, we then develop that. We look at him in that particular mood, and then we decide how we are going to serve him, and then we diligently perform it with love. Does this mean we give up all the rules and regulations? No. We continue doing that. But we are not attached to those rules and regulations. Why? Because our only attachment is Krishna. Our attachment is Krishna. Our attachment is to make Krishna happy. So this verse, towards the end of the Brahma Samhita, Lord Brahma brings out how to develop that relationship with the Lord and therefore go back and serve him. Any questions there? So now we come to the next verse, which is slightly long. Just give me 1 minute, it's not opening up. Sorry, folks, my machines decided to sleep for a little bit. I'm just trying to. Okay. Okay, there we are. So verse 56, I'll share my screen again. So now this verse is in a meter called Shikharini. It's a meter called Shikharini. Shriya Kantah Kantah
श्रियकान्तः कान्तः
Parama Purushah
परमपुरुषः
Kalpatarvo
कल्पतरवो
Druma Bhumishchintamani
Chintamani
ध्रुवमूर्च्छिन्तामणि
Ganamayito Yamamritam
गणमयितोऽयमृतम्
Kathaganam Natyam Gamanamapi Vamshi Priyasakhi
तथा गानं नाट्यं गमनम् अपि वंसि प्रियसखी
Chidanandam Jyoti Paramapi
चिदानन्दं ज्योति परमपि
Tad Aswadyamapi Cha
तत् आस्वाद्यमपि च
Sayatra Kshirabdhi Savat Sayatra Kshirabdhi Sravati
Sayatra
यत्र क्षीराब्धि स्रवति
Surabhibhyascha Sumahan
Surabhipyascha Sumahan
Nimeshaardhakyo Va
Nimeshabhakyava
Vrajati Nahi
Rajati Nahi
Yatrapi Samayaha
Yatra Visameha
मयः
Bhaje Shvetadvipam
Vajesve
एतद्वीपं
Tamahamiha Golokamitiyam
Tamakamiha
इह
Lokamityam
गोलोक इति यम्
Vidantaste Santah
वेदन्तस्ते सन्तः
Kshiti Viralachara Katipaye.
क्षिति
Virachara Kadipaye.
So I'll just read the whole verse all together once. Shriya Kanta Kanta Paramapurusha Kalpatarvo Druma Bhumischintamani Ganamayi Toyamamritam Kathaganam Natyam Gamanamapi Vamshi Priyasakhi Chidanandam Jyotih Paramapi Tadaswadamapi Cha Sa Yatra Kshirabdhi Sravati Surabhibhyascha Sumahan Nimeshaardhakyo va vrajati nahi yatrapi samayah Bhaje Shvetadvipam tamahamiha golokamitiyam Vidantaste santakshiti viralachara katipaye. Synonyms. Shriyah, Lakshmis, goddesses of fortune. Kantaha, loving consorts. Kantaha, enjoyer or lover. Paramapurushaha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Kalpataravaha, desire trees. Drumaha, all the trees. Bhumihi, the land. Chintamani Ganamayi, made of the transcendental touchstone jewels. Toyam, the water. Amritam, nectar. Katha, talking. Ganam, song, natyam, dancing, gamanam, walking. Api, also. Vamshi, the flute. Priya Sakhi, constant companion. Chitanandam, transcendental bliss. Jyotihi, effulgence. Param, the supreme. Api, also. Tat, that. Aswadyam, everywhere perceived. Apicha, also. Saha, that. Yatra, where. Kshira Abdihi, ocean of milk. Sravati, flows. Surabhibhyaha, from Surabhi cows. Cha, and. Sumahan, very great. Nimesha Ardha, half a moment. Akhyaha, called. Va, or. Vrajati, passes away. Na, not. He, certainly. Yatra, where. Api, even. Samayaha, time. Bhaje, I worship. Shvetadvipam, Shvetadvipa. Tam, that. Aham, I. Iha, Golok. Iha, here. Golokam, Goloka. Iti, thus. Yam, which. Vidantaha, no. Te, they. Santaha, self-realized souls. Kshiti, in this world. Virala, seldom. Charaha, going. Katipaye, few. I worship that transcendental seat known as Shvetadvipa, whereas loving consorts, the Lakshmis in their unalloyed spiritual essence, practice the amorous service of the Supreme Lord Krishna as their only lover, where every tree is a transcendental purpose tree, where the soil is the purpose gem, all water is nectar, every word is a song, every gait is a dance, the flute is the favorite attendant, effulgence is full of transcendental bliss, and the supreme spiritual entities are all enjoyable and tasty, where numberless milk cows always emit transcendental oceans of milk, where there is eternal existence of transcendental time, who is ever present and without past or future, and hence is not subject to the quality of passing away, even for the space of half a moment. That realm is known as Goloka, only to a very few self-realized souls in this world. I'm going to stop sharing now. So, the word yatra, which comes in the 5th line, sa yatra, that yatra basically goes right on top. Okay, yatra means where, that place where. Yatra, atra means there. Atra, and here is atra, atra tatra, atra tatra yatra, wherever. So where? Yatra kantaha shriyaha. Okay, where all the females, beloveds, kanta means wives or beloveds, are Lakshmis. The gopis are being referred to here as Lakshmis. Why? Because they are filled with all opulence, just like Lakshmi Devi. Just because they are cowherd girls doesn't make them any less than Lakshmi Devi. So they are filled with all opulences and more. Yatra kantaha shriyaha. Yatra kantaha. Now kantaha mean, is that singular or plural?
Plural.
Plural. Kantaha. Kantaha, kantaha. Or kanta, kantaha. Balika, one balika, many balikas, balikaha. Kanta, kantaha. Okay. Kantaha, is it singular or plural? Singular, very correct. Kantaha, masculine. So kantaha, many. So there are many beloveds, but only one masculine. So there are many females, one male. Who is he? Paramapurushaha. He is Krishna. So there is Krishna and his beloveds are all the gopis. So we are talking about a place where, yatra. This place where the beloved of the Supreme Person are all the gopis, and he is the only male beloved, the hero over there. And then what happens? Druma kalpataravaha. Druma means tree. Drumaha, the trees. All the trees are kalpatarus. All the trees there are wish fulfilling trees. Of course, there nobody goes and asks, oh, I want a new car or give me a nice house to the tree. I want more money. There, everybody's desire is, how do I serve Krishna? How do I make Krishna happy? And nobody really actually goes and asks the tree also anything very much. But just hearing their desires to serve Krishna, the trees also provide everything. So this is a place where even the trees are completely Chinmay. Chinmay, conscious. Okay, trees are conscious. Anyways, trees are conscious. Bhumihi Chintamani Ganamayi. The floor, the earth, the ground is made up of Chintamani jewels. Now, what is Chintamani? Chinta means whatever you think. Mani means jewel. So, Chintamani means the jewel that gives you whatever you think. So, you have Kalpa. Kalpa means whatever you can imagine. Taru. Taru means tree. So, the tree that gives you whatever you can imagine. Chintamani, the jewel that gives you whatever you can think. So the floor is, the ground is made up of that, Chintamani. The trees are all Kalpataru. Okay. Toyam Amritam. Toyam, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam. Toyam means water. Water is nectar. Amritam. It gives you everlasting life. Katha Ganam. There people don't talk. Even when they talk, it sounds like they are singing. And not just singing, which means not only is their voice so sweet, it is also so rhythmic. So the words are so rhythmic, which means they are probably talking in poetry all the time. So Katha Ganam. Natyam Gaman. So Gamanam Natyam. When they walk, it feels like they're all dancing. So they don't walk, they dance. So they're always singing and dancing. Why do you think that is? When do you sing and dance?
You are happy.
Yes. So over there, there is no sorrow. At all times, people are just so happy. Katha ganam natyam gamanam. Api vamshi priya sakhi. The dearmost friend is the vamshi. Vamshi is the flute. She is the dearmost friend. Not only of Krishna, but of the gopis as well. Why? Because Krishna uses the flute to call all the gopis. And the gopis, from the sound of the flute, they hear where Krishna is and they seek him out. So the sound of the flute takes them to Krishna. So the flute is the best friend of both Krishna and the gopis, of Kantaha and Kantaha. Chidanandam Jyotihi Paramapi. And there the Jyoti, the light, is filled with bliss. So there you have the sun and the moon, but they are not material like the sun and the moon in the material world. The sun and the moon there are transcendental. They are Satchitananda. So they are Chit Ananda. They are full of knowledge and full of bliss themselves. And param api. So param api tat. Now this can have two meanings. Param api tat aswadhyam api cha. So the first meaning is, even though they ordinary objects over there, even though they may be ordinary objects, they are all filled with knowledge and bliss. Param. They are all on the para level, okay, transcendental. And aswadyam, they are relishable. For instance, I have a cup here. Day one, it was very relishable. Oh, very nice. Nice color, you know. After day two, yeah, nice. Now it's like, who cares? Old cup. So here, everything fades away. Over there, everything remains fresh and it's always relishable. The other meaning for that, for this phrase, param api tat aswadyam api cha, is who is param in this in Goloka Vrindavan? Foremost. Param means foremost. Krishna. Krishna is the foremost. And he is most relishable. Krishna may be the foremost, but he is the most relishable. So even though the gopis serve him, they enjoy him. They just enjoy being with him. That whole relationship is one of enjoyment. Then Sumahan, Kshirabdi Sumahan. So Surabhi. So Surabhi, who is a Surabhi? Surabhi is also a cow, a Kamadhenu. Kamadhenu. Dhenu means cow. Kama means whatever you wish. So the cow also gives whatever you wish. So you have Kalpadruma, you have Chintamani, and now you have Kamadhenu also. And what do these Kamadhenus do? They produce so much milk that there are oceans of milk over there. Now, this may be taken literally or it may be taken as a hyperbole, exaggeration. So when we say exaggeration, it doesn't mean it's a lie. It's just, sometimes we say, na, Are, that day at the temple, easy. There must have been 1 lakh people. In New Zealand, there are not 1 lakh people who go to the temple. Laksham ber andirpa, we say in Tamil. But no, maybe about 200 people turned up. So this kind of figure of speech is called hyperbole. So here, Brahmaji is saying, but does that mean that it's wrong? No. There were a lot of people. Usually, let us say on a Thursday afternoon. On a Thursday afternoon maximum, sometimes you'll see 2 people. So if 200 people turned up, yeah, it's equal to a Laksham people in my head, right? So same way, when you're not used to seeing so much milk, Brahmaji is saying, oh, it is oceans of milk over there. And that milk is Sravati. It is constantly flowing from the cow. The cow doesn't have to be milked. The milk is just flowing from the cow. And yatrapi samayaha na vrajati, nahi vrajati. Time does not move. Time does not move. Even to the extent, nimesha ardha akhyava, not even to the extent of half a moment. Now, how does that work? Don't they have day and night in Golok Vrindavan? They have day and night, right? I mean, we talk about the Leelas that Krishna does in the night, and then we talk about the Leelas that Krishna does in the day. Ashtakaliya Leela. In the morning, he wakes up, and then, he goes and milks the cow, and then after that, he eats his breakfast. So, time is there. Then what is the meaning when we say, oh, time does not move there at all? Think about yourself, okay? Have you ever felt that, oh my God, where does the time go? Or have you ever felt, oh my God, I've done so much today and it's only 15 minutes. How did I do that? When does this happen? Yes, Vidushi?
When you're having fun or you're really, really happy.
Exactly. One is when you're having fun, and two, when you're in the flow, you're so focused.
Focus. Yeah.
When you're so focused that nothing else is coming into your head. At that time, you can do everything, and then suddenly you look around and say, huh? It's just been an hour and I finished everything. So, being in the present. Remember, we had a talk about this when we talked about the mind. So, being in the present, that is what the inhabitants of Golok Vrindavan do. How do they be in the present? They are so focused on serving Krishna that for them, time just, whether time moves or doesn't move, it really doesn't matter to them. Time becomes immaterial. So while here on earth, we see the day, we see the night, and what happens? The movement of time makes us older. It has a wearing effect on us. Hair turns gray, teeth fall out, and back hurts, leg hurts. And one by one, everything starts to fail. Eyes can't see, ears can't hear. And then we're like, okay, I think I'm ready to give up this body. Krishna, do something. That is the effect of time here. But there, time is transcendental. It does not have this kind of wearing effect on the inhabitants. So, in two ways, tatra samayaha na vrajati. Time doesn't move. Does this mean that Krishna's mother and grandfather and great-grandfather, everyone is very young? They're all like 14, 15 years old? No, they look old. So everyone looks the part. But the kind of tiredness and angst and the rest of all the mental and physical tribulations that we go through, don't touch them. Now here is where we need to learn that even with our material body, we can actually reach that stage. When we are so focused on the present. What is meditation? Meditation means being in the present, focusing on the, when we are chanting, what are we supposed to do? Supposed to do, huh? I'm not saying I do it. What am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to be completely focused on the name, completely focused on the name to the exclusion of everything. That is how we are supposed to be. That is being in the now, in the flow. Instead, what? Oh, I have to do that. I have to finish cooking. Oh my God, yesterday I didn't do. So yesterday, so past, future, in the now, who cares? Correct? So it's all about training the mind to be in the now, in the flow. So if we want to get over the effect of time, That doesn't mean that we are not going to grow old or anything. I mean, we are in the material body, all that is going to happen. But mentally, it's not going to affect us then. Nothing matters. No anxiety, no fear. Past, we sit and cry about it. Future, we sit and worry about it. Nothing of that will happen. Why? Because we are focused on what we are doing right now. So that is one message we can take away from this. Okay. Then, निमेषार्धाख्यो अवचितिः यत्रापि समयः भजे श्वेतद्वीपं हा. Aham bhaje. I worship or I render service. Aham bhaje. Tam Shvetadvipam. That Shvetadvipa. Now the word Shweta means white. Dvipa means island. Shweta also means spotless, which means very pure. So this Shvetadvipa is the name for Goloka Vrindavan. It is a place which is completely pure, spotless. The three modes don't appear there. Nothing material appears there. It's purely transcendental. It is pure Satchit Ananda. Bhaje Shvetadvipam. Bhaje Shvetadvipam tamaham iha kolokamitiyam. It is known by very few. Katipaye santaha. Very few saints. Katipaye. Koi. Some very few saints. What have they done? They have vidantah. They know. Katipaye santah jananti. Very few saints know this. What do they know? They know that this is Goloka. And what do these saints do? Kshiti virala charaha. They are wandering on the face of the earth. There are very, very few saints on this earth who know about this place called Goloka, which is also known as Shvetadvipa, where you have all this. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So there are very, very few saints who are firmly established in their love and devotion for Lord Shri Krishna, who are on this earth, who are roaming around on this earth, who understand that this place known as Goloka is also known as Shvetadvipa, and this is where Lord Krishna and his beloved gopis are always there, and where the trees are kalpatarus, where the land is Chintamani, where the water is Amrita, where speech is song, where movement or walking is dance, where the flute is the best friend of everyone because she tells everyone where Krishna is, she calls everyone to him, and where everything, the sun, the moon, everything, all the light there is filled with bliss and cognizance, consciousness and bliss, Satchitananda, Chidananda, where even though being the supreme, Krishna is the one who's most relishable, and where there are huge oceans of milk which are caused by the milk that flows continuously from the udders of the cows. And who are these cows? These are all Kamadhenus, Surabhis, where time always exists in the present because every single inhabitant of this place is constantly focused completely to the exclusion of everything else on the service of Lord Shri Krishna, on making him happy. And this place is known to so few people. Now, aren't we fortunate that we are amongst those few people? We are, right? How many people really know about this? How many people can understand that there is a place called Goloka Vrindavan where all this happens? There's so much fun and laughter all the time. People are so happy all the time. And knowing this, what should we do? What should we do? What do you think we should do? Knowing this, what should we do?
We have to see Brahma Samhita every day.
Yes, that is true. But knowing this, knowing about Goloka Vrindavan, knowing about Krishna, knowing about everything, what's the whole point?
For us to go back there and to be with him.
Thing is to start developing a relationship with the Lord. So going back there, that's his problem. Taking us there is his problem. Developing the relationship and serving him is in our hands. No? Oh Krishna, I want to come to you. Take me. I know your place is very good. I'm going to have lots of fun there. Krishna is going to be like, yeah, whatever. Why would I want you with me? You are such a troublemaker.
Just a picnic like.
Your picnic, and then you will come and find fault there also, because that's what you're used to doing. Here also you're sitting finding fault. You don't do anything worth. Why should I call you there and make my life miserable? You stay where you are. But instead, we start building that relationship with Krishna. And then we start talking to him in Sanskrit, his language. Katha Ganam. Try and create some, rhythm. Try and create some verses to talk to him. Huh?
He won't understand me much.
No.
He'll be like, sorry, the tenses are wrong.
See that, and isn't that wonderful? Think about it. When we in this country, right? When we hear, why this country? Anywhere in the world, even in India, if you heard someone talking your mother tongue, wouldn't you immediately turn around and go, oh, are you from, so if it was, if we were in Mumbai or Delhi, and somebody spoke Tamil, going on, Tamila, where are you from? There is that immediate bonding, isn't it?
Yeah.
And, when you're out of India, you hear any Indian language, like Indian, especially if you're not in Auckland. Aditya Prabhu and Sanjita Mataji. In Auckland, every second person is Indian. But there, it's quite rare, isn't it? In Christchurch. So yeah. So when you hear somebody speaking Indian language, how do you feel?
We feel nice.
Mataji, that's why we go to the Indian shop once a week.
That's why you go to the Indian shop. Yeah. So it's the same. Why would Lord Krishna? Of course, all languages have sprung from him. If Aham Sarvasya Prabho. But if you look at the Vedas, you look at the Bhagavad Gita, everything is in Sanskrit, which means that is a language which is slightly closer to him. So even if we talk rubbish Sanskrit to him, At least we'll make him laugh, if nothing else.
He will be very happy.
Yeah. He's at least trying. Okay, good. He'll say, okay, this child of mine still hasn't learned very much. Idiot child. That's okay. But still child of mine. So we try and we develop our relationship with the Lord. And that relationship doesn't have to be very serious all the time. The relationship is based on love, and love is happy. Love is always happy. So there is a lot of happiness in that relationship. Susukham, Krishna says. Susukham kartum avyayam. And the process has to be avyaya. Avyaya means without a break. Huh? The process has to be carried out all the time. How can you do something all the time if you don't like it? If it is not susukham, if it doesn't give you happiness, why would you do that process all the time? Which means our relationship with Krishna has to be very, very susukham, very, very happy giving. Then we will do it all the time. Which means we have to find out that in our service, what is it that we can do to please the Lord, which also pleases us? Which is where, we come into the whole Varnashrama system. What kind of, am I a Brahmana? What is my, mental makeup, psychophysical makeup? Do I like reading? Do I like speaking? Do I like singing? Do I like cooking? Do I like fighting for Krishna? Whatever. And we use what we can do best in the Lord's service. That's how we can serve him happily. So susukham avyayam. So any questions? Okay. So we'll pause here for today then. And who is tomorrow? Is it Parthasarathi Prabhu?
Yeah.
Okay. Today he couldn't make it, poor thing. Yes, Vidushi.
I was the slogan that we did, Mataji, the 55. It reminded me of because I just finished in Bhagavad Prabha, we just finished Prahlad Maharaj, so 7th canto. It just reminded me of what Narad Muni says in the there. So when you were reading it, I just thought back because I just heard it the other day. So he says the same thing in the Rajasuya Yajna. When Shishupal's thing goes into Krishna, he says how when Yudhishthira Maharaj says, how did that happen? I mean, he was not very nice to Krishna. So how did that happen? I think that's one of the slokas. I can't remember which one it is, but it reminded me of that.
Yes. So actually, you're right. Very true. So Yudhishthira Maharaj, when Krishna kills Shishupal, the soul leaves Shishupal's body and merges into Krishna. And Yudhishthira Maharaj is struck with wonderment. He turns to Narada, she stands and goes, how? He hated him. And then Narada says, yeah, you can be liberated by having any relationship. And then there's in fact, Aditya Prabhu, I'm just going to mute you. Huh?
Oh, sorry about this.
I've done it. So, no, that's all right. We were having some little singing from Jainamai, sorry. So, Narada Rishi actually says, he says, you can have that relationship in any kind of relationship is beneficial. Now, it's called kaimutya nyaya. Nyaya in Sanskrit basically means so nyayas are little sutras where like proverbs. Okay, so kaimutya nyaya means kim uta, which means if Lord Krishna could give Shishupal liberation, Shishupal who verbally abused him to his face, called him the worst of names, the vilest of names, then how kind would Krishna be to someone who loves him? So this then kind of, if this was the case, then how much? So Kim Uta, what to say? What to say of somebody who is loving Krishna so much? So if you look at this verse, actually 55, you're very right. It's Kaimutya Nyaya, which is sitting in this particular verse as well. So when we say Yam Krodha Kama Sahaja Pranayadit, so Yam Krodha. So when you have somebody who is having a relationship of anger and moha, fear, even bhiti, when you have this kind of negative sentiments, then what to speak of kama, sahaja pranaya, vatsalya, guru gaurava, sevya bhav, what to speak of all this? And a very good example of this is Putana. Ahobakiyam stanakalakutam jigamsaya payayadapya sadhvi lebhe gatim datrimuchitam tatonyam kamva dayalum sharanam vrajema. So you have Shukadeva Goswami waxing eloquent about Lord Shri Krishna's mercy, kindness, compassion. What does he say? He says, Aho Baki, Bakasura's sister Baki. Baka's sister Baki, Aho, she came to poison Krishna. Aho Bakiyam stana kalakutam, on her breast, she had put the kalakuta poison. Aho Bakiyam stana kalakutam jighamshaya payayad api. And she tried to make him drink milk from it. Api, even then. Payayad api asadhvi. And she was not sadhu. She came dressed as a sadhu. Very lovely lady. But she did such horrible deed. Lebhe gatim dhatrimuchitam taton. However, she was given the position, after she died, she was given the position of his nurse, Dhatri. So in Goloka Vrindavan, for baby Krishna, she feeds him there. She is his Dhatri, she is his nurse. And that is appropriate, uchitam. Why? Kamva dayalum sharanam brajem. Why? Because he is so dayalu. Now you tell me, who else should I go and pray to? Who else can be more merciful than this? So this is Krishna. So yes, thank you so much, Vidushi, for that comment. Yes. So shall we pause here for today then? Thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow.
Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.